Airline partnerships are coming in thick and fast, and that is where the bulk of today's focus sits, from Cathay Pacific to Singapore Airlines, Condor and over to Emirates. But there's also focus on the 777X, and that is where coverage begins. Thanks to reporting from the Air Current, Boeing's ongoing process of certifying the 777X has hit another roadblock. The reputable trade publication spoke exclusively with Sir Tim Clark, the always outspoken but always truthful president of Emirates, who highlighted that flight testing has slowed. Ultimately, Boeing's slowdown in flight testing came just months after a door blowout incident threw the company once more again into disarray. Additionally, the slowing of the 777X flight test program does have ramifications for the expected first delivery. More and more airlines are expecting that to slip into 2026 rather than the targeted 2025 timeframe. The 2020s continued as the 2010s concluded for Boeing, which was far from optimal as the manufacturer battled the repercussions of several 737 MAX incidents. However, once the MAX returned to the skies, Boeing charted a course on rebuilding its brand and restoring confidence in not just its airline customers, but the traveling public, an essential part of making it once more a household name. However, when a door blowout incident occurred in the first week of 2024, those plans were quite literally thrown out the window. The aircraft manufacturer quickly realized that this was not an isolated problem and uncovered many more internal issues that seemingly hadn't been addressed. From production woes to financial issues, 2024 has been a nightmare for Boeing and looks set to continue as the focus will lie on restoring MAX jets, getting delivery rates back up, and ironing out any supply chain issues that we're seeing. And therefore, such planes as the 777X have seemingly been put on the back burner without being officially said so. While Boeing has stuck to its 2025 timeframe for some time, it will likely slip into the following year, as Lufthansa and Emirates, the two leading airlines, have been forced to readjust their expectations and done so very publicly. Clark did state very clearly that Boeing didn't intend to put the 777X on the back burner, given its importance for many airlines right around the world and for them as a manufacturer. However, because of the wide array of problems impacting them, its focus on the 777X has ultimately weakened. It's all well and good to have the 777X certified, but if everything else is a complete mess, the likelihood that this will impact them for a much longer duration is high. More and more airlines are being forced to make radical decisions because of these delayed deliveries, including retaining aircraft that may have otherwise been retired by now. We know Emirates is retaining aircraft longer and also spending billions on the retrofitting of jets sooner rather than later, and your other leading customer, Lufthansa, is retaining older quad-engine planes to help cope with the delays in getting planes on, such as the 777X, which, once flying, are really going to be fundamental to the long-term vision of these companies. Let's move over to Cathay Pacific, who have announced their plans to collaborate with Singapore Airlines across several sustainability initiatives. The MOU focuses on advocating for further development of sustainable aviation fuel, or more commonly referred to and just simply SAF, in the Asia-Pacific region. Furthermore, the partnership does hope to enable the more widespread future use of SAF. Both airline executives highlighted the importance by signing this at the 80th edition of the International Air Transport Association, or IATA, annual general meeting. Cathay Pacific and Singapore Airlines have already committed to achieving net zero CO2 emissions by 2050. By focusing their futures on the collaborative effort of implementing SAF more widely, they believe this will drive further positive ramifications right across the business. The collaborative effort that I speak of will also see Cathay and Singapore jointly advocate for greater use of SAF in the region it does call home. They will be seen, arguably, as the leaders in the sector. The advocacy will be done through the airlines, leveraging their position in the industry, which is quite significant, and therefore their significant customer base, to really spread more awareness. That is how a lot of airlines and industry professionals believe more people are going to learn. Public awareness and spreading that. Means such as supporting policies and promoting the creation of a standard global account and reporting framework will be important. Why is this? Well, the two airlines believe that ensuring transparency and verifiability around emission reduction will be absolutely huge. They need to be transparent with the public, and they want people to more so just understand why they're going about doing this and the long-term benefits. Also, we will see a joint procurement of sustainable aviation fuel in specific locations, this to be hugely important for the airlines. Away from this, in what is considered the second part of the upcoming partnership, the airlines hope to exchange between each other the best practices to reduce single-use practices across their business. Sustainability should then be improved in what is going to be a huge focus for these two major Asian airlines leading the future. Onto another airline partnership, but a little bit different, not focusing on SAF. Condor has announced they're signing a codeshare partnership with leading Middle East carrier of Emirates. The codeshare agreement will commence in October of 2024. However, it is still subject to regulatory approval. Once launched, it should offer great benefits for travelers, as with any codeshare partnership. Condor says that as part of this agreement, Emirates customers will be offered connectivity on Condor flights via Germany to several leading destinations, and the ones they touch on are certainly focusing on your more warm weather destinations that are popular for holidaying, from the likes of Mallorca to the Caribbean, all featured among many others. Meanwhile, some Emirates flights will be equipped with the Condor tag, which will be added to service from Dubai to some leading cities right around the world. Emirates said their focus areas for at least adding the Condor tag are that of the Middle East, Africa, Central Asia, and the Indian subcontinent. The agreement is generally perceived as one that strengthens on the airline's connection following Condor's planned service launch actually from Berlin to Dubai to be the home of Emirates in October of this year as well. Furthermore, the agreement deepens a partnership that was signed in November of 2023. That saw the two airlines come together and enter into a reciprocal interline agreement. As part of this agreement, the airline looked to improve connectivity across 70 routes operated in major ports worldwide on a single consistent ticket fare. The ticket fare would also extend to elements such as baggage policies, which should be a massive relief for travelers looking to book everything on the one ticket and have continuity throughout. Condor knows that Emirates is an airline for the global stage, and deepening their relationship will be important to activate the German leisure company's greater potential. Starting in October, the two airlines will look to offer seamless and greater levels of connectivity to their customer base. The agreement also represents a pretty important one for Emirates. Why? Well, because as you've probably been able to tell from these aviation news recaps, they are continuing at a rapid rate to expand their codeshare agreements with airlines. The Dubai-based carrier's most recent financial results, yes, highlighted their finances, but also their thoughts on codeshare arrangements and just how fundamentally important they are to them as a business. They noted it would be a huge focus area across the future, and it is why in the last couple of months alone, we've seen the airline continue to build a pretty solid portfolio of airlines that it codeshares with. Emirates sees these relationships as beneficial for every single party, from them as a business to also their customer base, and does believe therefore it should be a long-term focus. That's going to conclude today's aviation news recap. Thank you very much for your support here on the channel. It is definitely greatly appreciated. Please take care, do be safe. I'll see you same place, same time tomorrow for your latest industry news.
And we'll fly.